Hi again. Sorry about that. Water was dripping on my head and twins were trying to distract me again. On the page 41 where I mentioned he was talking about redemption songs, he also mentions Toni Morrison and Zora Neale Hurston. And we'll be reading Hurston. He talks about Frederick Douglass Memorial Hall. So this is another example where we really find out about the power of the ancestors. And then another...
Mommy.
What?
Mommy, I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't know. He moves forward to talking about what it means to think about human beings as individuals. So he's kind of, he makes this powerful comment on page 55. There was nothing holy or particular in my skin. I was black because of history and heritage. And he takes quite a long time to explore that idea and to explain what it means to us. So on page 69, I think he picks up with that topic. Being black doesn't give you an identity because of the color of your skin. It's because of history and heritage. I think that's a little summary of what he's saying. But he also talks about being able to recognize the individuality and the uniqueness of each person and not just thinking in these huge sweeping terms of black versus white or slave versus free. When he talks about slavery on page 69, it reminds me a lot of Harriet Jacobs, even though he doesn't mention her by name. He says, wisdom is not unique to our people, but I think it has special meaning to those of us born out of mass rape, whose ancestors were carried off and divided up into policies and stocks. I have raised you to respect every human being as singular, and you must extend that same respect into the past. Slavery is not an indefinable mass of flesh. It is a particular, specific enslaved woman whose mind is active as your own, whose range of feeling is as vast as your own, who prefers the way the light falls in one particular spot in the woods, who enjoys fishing where the water eddies in a nearby stream, who loves her mother in her own complicated way, thinks her sister talks too loud, has a favorite cousin, a favorite season, who excels at dressmaking and knows inside herself that she is as intelligent, as capable as anyone. Slavery is this same woman born in a world that loudly proclaims its love of freedom and inscribes this love in its essential texts, a world in which these same professors hold this woman a slave, hold her mother a slave, her father a slave, her daughter a slave, and when this woman peers back into the generations, all she sees is the enslaved. She can hope for no more. And that particular moment reminded me of Harriet Jacobs and her connection to her family, its relationship to her experience of slavery. For this woman, enslavement is not a parable, it is a damnation. It is a never-ending night, and the length of that night is most of our history. Never forget that we were enslaved in this country longer than we have been free. But yet again, I want to think about one of the moments in the text where we have a different kind of message. He also talks about meeting a girl with long dreadlocks whose mother was Jewish, who was from a small town in Pennsylvania. And around page 58, he talks about the Howard professor who was black and his white wife, who this young woman boarded with, and what he learned as a young man from them, because the professor and his wife had an open marriage, and he said the two of them slept with each other, but the Howard professor slept with men, his wife slept with women. And nonetheless, he felt when he met them and in their presence that they were people, that they were human. Getting to know them, he discovered something different than what he previously thought about people who aren't heterosexual. He says, faggot was a word I had employed all my life, and now here they were, the cabal, the coven, the others, the monsters, the outsiders, the faggots, the dykes dressed in all their human clothes. I am black and have been plundered and have lost my body, but perhaps I too had the capacity for plunder. Maybe I would take another's human body to confirm myself in a community. Perhaps I already had. Hate gives identity. And this is at the top of page 60. The child is cheering because she blew bubbles, not because hate gives identity. Don't worry. Now, a few people have asked me in the Ask a Professor discussion board why I think racism is so pervasive. And I think this issue of hate giving identity versus love giving identity is one of the fundamental kind of core aspects of understanding. And in African American studies, we try to learn an identity begotten of love. That was Martin Luther King Jr.'s message. I think in many ways it is Harriet Jacobs' message. It is certainly John Merritt's message. And in a almost ironic way, it's Malcolm X's message. But he talks about hate-giving identity. You can illuminate the border, illuminate us what we ostensibly are not, illuminate the dream of being white, of being a man. We name the hated strangers and thus are confirmed in our tribe. So to a certain extent, to a great extent, I think, people understand and believe in who they are because they know they're not something else, and they come together to hate and despise something else. I found this passage on page 60 really powerful, really explanatory, but always remember that love trumps hate. So again, don't want to talk for too long. I've been almost 7 minutes and I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter. I think some people want to say hi to you, so I will give them a second to photobomb.
Hi!
Come here, sit on my lap and say hi. Oh my goodness.
Hi!
Say, love trumps hate.
I love Trump's hate.
Love trumps hate.
I love Trump's hate.
Say, African American studies.
I love history studies.
Yes, say, study hard and do your homework.
Study hard and do
Your homework.
your homework.
Okay. EK, do you want to say hi to my students? Come here, hurry, hurry. Oh, it's not my birthday. Come here, come say hi to the video. Ah, don't fall. Okay, somebody else doesn't want to. She's busy in the pool. You'll see her again, I'm sure. Have a wonderful day.